As we indicated earlier, today's webinar is basically. Can you open up your video, please? Today's webinar is going to be basically all about Bitcoin mining, and yes, it's all going to be about Bitcoin mining and what happens with regards to Bitcoin mining, and that is what that is the full purpose of today's webinar. And you already know about. We have a little information with regards to mining Bitcoin and all the stuff. You can do it on your own. You can choose to have a company do it on your behalf and stuff like that. Before we continue, I just want to say hello to everyone out there following us with regards to our educational trainings that we've been giving since day one and been getting interest in all those. So right after this training, we would have it uploaded on our website, and just as usual to have you have a full benefit of this and all that. So basically, when we say Bitcoin mining, actually mining is the backbone of the Bitcoin network, and everything with regards to the Bitcoin is mining oriented, as miners would have to verify the Bitcoin transactions and everything that goes on, all the transactions in and out, and even producing new Bitcoins on a daily basis, and that will have to happen through Bitcoin mining. And it's been such a very good thing that a whole lot of people are getting so much interested with regards to Bitcoin mining. Actually, you can do Bitcoin mining on your own. Yes, when you have the GPU, the powerful computers that is required of you to get started with your mining, you can do it on your own, or basically you can have a third-party company to help you with the mining processes and all that. So, but we don't really do the mining on our own, and we just do it with a third-party company that we've been working for quite a while now, and it's been such a good thing that we've been since day one. It's been very great. We all know very well that Bitcoin is the algorithm of Bitcoin is very deep, and it needs some techie skills and all that. But so a whole lot of people could not be able to do it on their own. They would need support with good softwares and good computers, and even managing the computers sometimes is a problem. So a whole lot of people are not really able to have it on and stuff like that. So that is what makes it much more easier to have a package or to mine with a third-party company, and it's been such a good thing. Before we're looking at some of the companies that you can do this with, you would have to do it like you understanding Bitcoin. We all know that Bitcoin is a software-based payment system described by Satoshi Nakamoto. I don't know if anyone know about this man. It's anonymous, or if they are a group or something. It was introduced as an open source software since 2009, and payments are being recorded in public ledger called blockchain in its own units of account, which is called Bitcoin, and in small pieces we call it Bit. So the network works, or the payments through the network works peer-to-peer without any central repository or any administrator behind it, and which has led to the U.S. Treasury to call Bitcoin a decentralized virtual currency. And yes, right after the introduction of Bitcoin, a lot of cryptocurrencies have been introduced, and they are following suit to be like Bitcoin. Although its status as a currency being disputed, media reports often refer to Bitcoin as a cryptocurrency or a digital currency. And from the word cryptocurrency and crypto, something like security is present. So with cryptocurrency like Bitcoin, you know that the security is very present. So so once you have Bitcoins, you become your own bank. You manipulate everything, and you manage everything with regards to your transaction. And it's been such a good thing that we are doing. And Bitcoin has been such an interesting journey since 2009. Actually, the last time on our previous webinars, we mentioned that when Bitcoin was introduced, it was less than a penny, and let's say with 10 cents or even a cent, you could have been able to purchase Bitcoin back then in 2009. And now we can say that Bitcoin is seriously an asset to those that have it, because now Bitcoin is selling for almost $900 per coin. Over the week, we saw the glorious growth that Bitcoin has been having continuously, from 800 to 850 USD per coin to 900, and now today, this morning, I saw a little bit of fluctuations, and people are presuming that Bitcoin is going to be worth over $10,000 or $2,000 someday to come, or even $100,000 per coin. But we don't know, because we can't really give a judgmental factor to that, because the hardcore and all the a whole lot of things need to happen. And if you are really a Bitcoin enthusiast, you really know that you have to follow the norms, because Bitcoin is something that it must reach a billion or even a whole lot of users before it can really get to where people are speculating. So we are looking forward to what it has for with regards to the future. And now let's just look at straightforward the mining and all that, the mining aspect of Bitcoin. But even before you consider the mining aspect of Bitcoin, ask yourself, why Bitcoin? You know, Bitcoin can be used to purchase anything anonymously online and offline. You can do it. You can use a peer-to-peer transaction. Let's say if you want to buy in Ghana, for instance, you're in Africa. If you want to buy Bitcoins, you can just do it on eBitcoinics.com. You have your own free account. You do it. That is it. And you can also use it to purchase anything anywhere in the world that you want. It's easy, just like sending an email. It's just all about finding what you want to purchase. Today, we as a company, we provide hosting services where you can even buy purchase with Bitcoin, your website, domains, and stuff like that. That means we're growing and all that. And globally, you can use Bitcoin for anything, flights, and inclusive of all many other things. And Bitcoin is not tied to any country or any special regulation. No, it is a body on its own. Nobody owns it. It owns itself, and it goes on like that. So nobody can take Bitcoin away from you when you have Bitcoin. That's why we're saying that it is you are your own bank when you have Bitcoins or any other cryptocurrencies. After Bitcoin, we know a lot of cryptocurrencies have been created, over 645 today, and all of them are trying to be like Bitcoin. Everybody is promising that we are good or something like that. We're all looking up to what the future actually holds and all that. So, and small businesses like Bitcoin, you know, small businesses today, they like Bitcoin, because if you really want to go into a transaction or do something with regards to your business through a bank, you really need to go through a lot, as the processes involved with the banking industry. You and I will confess that it's not easy, and even the charges that you're going to pay for a single or any transaction that you're going to do with regards to your bank, you run away. Let's say you just walk into your bank, you want to do $100,000 transaction. Yes, you can afford it, but the process that you're going to pass through and all that, seriously, you won't withstand it the next time. And stuff like that. And by regards to Bitcoin, you can do any transaction, anytime, anywhere, and as at when and how you want to do it. And that is what makes Bitcoin very unique. And some people buy Bitcoins as an investment. Yes, you can buy Bitcoins as an investment. You buy it, you keep hoping that it will go up in value. And this is one of the reasons why there is a price instability, because people are hoping that they buy and keep it. And as soon as the price goes up or something like that happens, they sell it. So as soon as you sell, demand, supply, stuff, so it has to happen. It goes up, it comes down, price fluctuations because of trading that is happening in the Bitcoin network. And then how does it work? You know, there are no Bitcoins, only records of Bitcoin transactions are really what we are seeing. So you can't really, it's a virtual currency. You cannot see it. You cannot really, you know, touch it or something like that. So it's something that you really virtual. It's a virtual currency. Here's the funny thing about Bitcoin. They don't really exist anyway, you know. And even on the hardware, they don't really exist. It's just virtual. Yes, that is what makes it very fascinating, interesting. So as soon as you lose it, you know, you let it go and all this. But it's virtual. I've seen a whole lot of people trying to create stuff like Bitcoin is real and all that. They have this coin. You know, it's just a tag they are doing to promote the Bitcoin stuff. And it's really interesting. Now, let's come to our main topic for today, Bitcoin mining. I know very well there are a lot of people that wanted to join us on this webinar today, but they couldn't, and now really waiting for this training session to be uploaded on our website, and we'll do just that. You know, to understand mining, one needs to really understand what a hash function is. Put simply, a hash function, let me say, from our mind, takes an input and create maybe a seemingly random output, you know, like something goes in there and then it produces a result. So an input, something that is a hash function. That is what happens with regards to the Bitcoin mining sovereignty. And however, the output is consistent every time you perform the function on a given input. I don't know if I should really be explaining all these things, because a lot of people will get confused in regards to the IT terms. But it's very important, because we are not really the only ones that we are looking at. It's just a broad channel that we are doing, and everybody makes the time to have a look at this. So let's say what I want you to do right now is to maybe you open up a calculator on your computer or your phone, and then in the calculator you take the square root of maybe 3 or the square root of 7. It gives you something 1 point. These are funny figures, and that is the hash rating we are talking about. Now take these digits, you do some conversion and all that. All these things we don't really need to understand, because if you really want to do Bitcoin mining, you have a lot to do, and you have a lot of learning to do. You have experts. You can check on YouTube stuff like that. We have a whole lot of leaders that are very experienced with regards to this field and all that. So you have to do a serious learning in there. A lot of people are doing Bitcoin mining as a course daily. They sleep on this and they never want to go up, because it pays very good. And if the backbone of the Bitcoin network is mining, that means you put in an effort. There is a serious business for you. So after that, you getting to understand about the mining, we need to also explain to you about what really the blockchain is. So with a blockchain, the simple term I can say is a book, or is simply a public ledger or a public book where all transactions, Bitcoin transactions, are actually recorded. So the Bitcoin, through the mining, solves the so-called mathematical problem or double-spending problems. It represents itself with digital records. For example, if I have maybe an MP3 file that or maybe a book or PDF or something on my computer, I can freely copy that 1,000 times and send it to anywhere that I want. For a digital currency, the possibility for unlimited copying would mean that you have to do something we call a hyperinflationary, something like you trying to restructure the algorithm, where it's not possible. So you have to use it the virtual way, and Bitcoin solves this by maintaining a peer-to-peer network and recording each transaction on the ledger called the blockchain. So that is one interesting thing about the blockchain network and all that. So sometimes you ask yourself, why do I have to, when you want to do those that are the experts in the field, if you want to do a Bitcoin transaction, I want you to ask yourself, why do you have to wait for the transaction to be in a pending state for somebody, or for some time before it completes, to be really confirmed? That is what we are talking about the mining. For every transaction that you do, somebody would have to confirm it, and that process is the mining aspect of the Bitcoin, and it is the backbone. Without mining, Bitcoin doesn't really exist, because how are you going to really, if we are saying it's peer-to-peer, definitely there should be somebody, you and I, that are behind actually the processes and help the network become very stable. And that is where the mining is. So basically, these are some of those things that we will learn. On the other hand, maybe if you can't go through all these processes of trying to do everything on your own and be there, anything and all that, you have an alternative. You don't need to really worry about that. And then ask yourself, are there really Bitcoin transaction fees? Yes, of course, but it's very minimal. It doesn't make sense. It's like basically free. Is something, let's say if you want to do a $1 million transaction, a 10,000 US dollar transaction, the fee is basically something minimal. You won't even suspect. Walk in your bank, say you want to do $1 million transaction, the charges alone on the transaction could even make you go crazy. But Bitcoin is basically free, and it's not really something we call a charge. So as people are really enjoying it. So you ask yourself, are there really charges with regards to Bitcoin? So you really have to know that really it doesn't really exist, because if you want to do $1 million transaction and it's basically going for free, it's something big, and you really need to have a deep look at it. So sometimes, and you say there are charges, but not all times, because if you can do $1 million transaction for just a minimal fee, like 0.00 something, that doesn't even exist, up to even $1, that tells you something. And that is why a whole lot of people are so crazy about any portion of a transaction that isn't picked up by the recipient or returners change is considered a fee. So basically, that is what happened, and a whole lot of people are just, this is all being managed by the miners. They determine the charges and all that. So once Bitcoin mining is completed, and we have like 19 more years to be mining Bitcoin, as soon as it's done, the Bitcoin network will be verified based on charges, and these are the things that will be helping the Bitcoin users and the Bitcoin network make extra income and all that. So we have a long journey ahead to be doing more education, to be doing more studies and stuff like that. And right now, many miners process transactions for no fees. So, but then right after the whole process of Bitcoin mining is completed in, let's say, 19 years, you live to see long life, God willing. So once that happens, the miners will decide, hey, if you want to do $1,000 transaction, we charge you this percent or that percent or something like that. Let's look forward to how that will happen. And there have been alternatives. Today we have proof of stake coins that you can actually mine on your own computer. Easy, you just install the app or the software. Even on your phone, you can do all these things. We call it minting. Actually, that is not mining, that is minting, and that is quite different from the Bitcoin network. And the best alternative to mining Bitcoin, if you really can't handle the processes alone, because electricity factors you have to consider. As soon as any process is any step within the process is hindered, you would have to restart everything again. You have to get these good softwares and all these processes, and make sure you make the temperature as of where you have your devices set up should also be very controlled. You can't be so much overheated and all that. You need to, because in a country like Ghana, very sure you cannot mine Bitcoin, because as soon as you're doing it, any doom so, then it affects the process. So you really need to look at an alternative, and this alternative is joining mining pools offered by all other companies. We have Ash Ocean that came, it never stood anywhere. It went just like that, scammed a whole lot of people. We at eBitcoinics working full time for the past years with Big Club Network, and this company has proved to us that they really work what we're doing, and it's quite a very good thing. What you do is very simple. You just go in, you purchase any of the mining packages, and the company is having its own mining facility in Iceland, and they do handle all the processes and all that, and you don't really need to worry yourself about thinking about how to do this or how to do that or doing that. No, you don't really need to do that. The company does everything just because they have to make sure you enjoy the benefits. And actually, you get paid on a daily basis. Whatever the company earns from each of the various mining pools that they have or the shares that they're selling, you get paid residually. It's not fixed. That is what makes this unique. It's for longevity's sake, and it's a long-term plan, very sustainable. You can really have a look at that. Once you're free, those of you around in Ghana, we have a couple of programs that we will plan ahead for, and as well as those of you in Nigeria, we have a couple of programs we are arranging from the feeds. We'll be flying over to Nigeria to have an intensive training with regards to Bitcoin. And in Kumasi, we have a very special meeting on Tuesday. It's all about Bitcoin. We are doing this for free because we want you to learn. We really want a whole lot of people to be aware of this technology. It's very big, massive, and non-stoppable. That is what makes it very unique. So we want it to reach anybody, and that is what we're doing. All that Bitcoin transactions, as I said, are very divisible. Maybe you can see you can get $1 of Bitcoin. Sometimes when we mention Bitcoin and people go to check the price of Bitcoin, they are like, oh, Bitcoin is selling for $900, it's selling for $800. I cannot afford it. That is not true. You can afford $1 worth of Bitcoin in Satoshi. Satoshi can be divided into a million Satoshi worth of Bitcoin. That is about 0.000 something. So any amount of Bitcoin, just grab some and keep it. This is the future, and it's very big than you could even imagine. So what are that are some of the things that we wanted to talk to you about today. So actually, this company, they handle all the processes. You get paid daily, and they've got this crazy compensation plan for those that also want to make it a full-time business. That is up to you. But actually, we are looking at mining with regards to Bitcoin. So on Tuesday, God willing, on Kumasi here, we have a serious meeting for our leaders, and we will be meeting just to discuss Bitcoin. If you want to join us, you can, of course, after the webinar, get in touch with us, or after watching this webinar on our website, maybe probably today, tomorrow, you could just get in touch with us, and we will help you with that, where we are meeting. And at Accra too, we are arranging a very huge seminar for those of you at Accra. After that, we move to Nigeria, and that is how we spread the good. We are just how do you call it? The speakers for Bitcoin. Nobody is paying us to do this, but we love to do it because we believe this is the future, and everybody must get to benefit from it. Imagine 40 years back, and you were informed, or let me say 20 years back, you were informed about the internet, and you were asked to be a shareholder of the internet. People would have been skeptical. This thing is not going to work. But today, you and I know that without the internet, life is impossible. Yes, today, without the internet, life is impossible. If they take the internet away from us for 10 seconds or 50 seconds, imagine what is going to happen in the world. It's mind-bogglingly crazy. It's not even going to happen now. And I always talk to you about this. About 70% of the world's population are unbanked. A lot of people think bank is too formal, but all this number of people that are unbanked are one way or the other using the internet. So if Bitcoin is passing through, how do you call it, the internet, that means it has the potential of being what nobody can even stop it. Like something that nobody ever would ever be able to stop it. Because if people are thinking that the banking industry is too formal for them and they cannot be a part of the banking industry, definitely if they are using the internet for free and they are being educated very well, that you can be your own bank through the internet. That is thanks to Bitcoin. So definitely a lot of people are getting to grab this thing, and it's very interesting and all that. So those of you that had to be on this webinar late, we advise that you re-watch the webinar, because we've done a whole lot of studies. You re-watch it, and probably you get to hear or know what you missed earlier and all that. So just as you know, I make sure I do this in a very scary way and all that, very fast, so that we don't even waste anybody's time. So I would open up. If you have questions, definitely, if you know you cannot ask the question, you can send it through a message on the Zoom group chat, and I will have an answer to you. So now it's your turn. I'm going to open up the audios for everyone, and then you submit your questions. You make it very snappy, and then we get to end this. So your questions are very much welcomed. Hello. Is anybody having a question?
Yeah, no.
Yes, please. Open your video and ask the question.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Actually, this is my friend I'm having here. So I think you want to actually ask this question.
Okay, I'm all yes.
Actually, no. The thing is, I tell you, I wasn't present. I just came to meet him, having a meeting with him. So I think I will not have a question right now because I haven't heard the beginning when it started. I didn't know. It was impromptu that I came in. So
interesting. So what I will suggest to you is, right after maybe the webinar, you can replay the webinar on our channels and re-listen and all that. So when you have private questions, you can definitely channel it to us, and we'll help you with that. Yes. Anybody is having any question? Any question? Please, if you have a question, you just raise your hand. I'll open up your audio and you start talking. And as I said, those of you that joined late, what you have to do is probably right after we upload it on our website and our channels, you just do a replay of it, because we've done a very important education here that nobody would want to miss that. And probably some will come late and all that, and we have quite an interesting number of attendees today on the webinar as well. As usual, we are growing, and we always tell you this is a continuous thing. So you should know that every week we have a webinar, so that you prepare your question with regards to Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. It doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter the business that you do. We just want to help you learn. So you make it this the point, and you help us. I think somebody's having a question. Millionaire Masterminds or something. Yeah, Millionaire Mastermind. You have a question? Melania. I think he's not having a question. And Mr. iPhone. Mr. iPhone, you have a question? I think nobody's having a question really. And definitely we've lost Nash also. So since nobody's having a question, I think we've done a very, very, very intensive education today with regards to Bitcoin mining, and even all the processes with regards to the hashing, the blockchain. We defined what a hashing is and all that, and it was very interesting having everyone on board. Those of you that were late, as I said, right after this, we would have it uploaded on our website and also our YouTube channel. So you make it a point to listen to it, and definitely you would have a very good video. Abdul Qudus Mutaru, we've seen you, bud, and thanks for being here. We really appreciate your presence. And just like that, make sure you do a replay, because the education that we did today was very, 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 very unique and all that. So after listening, you will get to know what really Bitcoin mining is. Play it over and over again. And if you have questions, kindly submit it to our Facebook page, eBitcoinics, or just channel it on our website or on our email, info@eBitcoinics.com. We would be very glad to assist you. And if you have anybody that you want us to help you explain to the person what Bitcoin is, regardless of where the person is, don't even think about that. We make time for anybody and anyone and anytime. So as I said, on Tuesday we have a very important meeting here in Kumasi. After that, we have another one at Accra. It's all about Bitcoin education. And after that, we have a very important a huge seminar in Nigeria, and we are coming there live. We are applying to Nigeria to help everyone there. So I would want to end the call now, as we have no more questions, and then probably we look forward to having all of you on board next week, God willing.
Hello.
Yes, hello.
Hey, what's going on, man? This is Donnie. I just was wondering if anybody's selling some Bitcoin right now.
If anybody's doing what?
Selling Bitcoin right now.
Yeah, if you want to buy Bitcoins, all that I can suggest to you is just to visit our website, eBitcoinics.com. We have all those packages on it. You go do all that you got to do, or you chat with us on the support pages and all that. We'll assist you. You can do all that there. But now on the webinar, actually, we don't sell Bitcoins. We educate you about Bitcoin on the webinar. So if you need Bitcoins, you can do it on our website, probably. Are you okay with that?
Yes. Are you Nawaf Bitcoin on Facebook?
Yes, please. I am the one, and I am the one helping everybody learn.
Nawaf Bitcoin, right?
Yes, please.
It's NAWAF Bitcoin?
Yes, please. Exactly. You got it right.
Okay. And so how soon would we be able to get it once we go through your website?
It's probably between 0 to 10 minutes. We have it processed for you, depending on where you are. In Nigeria, we have accounts with Diamond Bank. We have an account with First Bank. You can do your payment. As soon as you receive the payment, we process your Bitcoin instantly for you. In Ghana, we have GT Bank, we have Access Bank, and we have all the mobile monies available in Ghana as well. And those of you outside, we do sometimes assist you with an alternative way of payment. If there is no alternative, we just look forward to receiving it via Western Union, and we're helping a lot about it.
I'm in the U.S. Does that matter?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. With the U.S., you can even do PayPal. You can do, how do you call it, Western Union. It still doesn't make a difference.
All right, done deal. Let's do it, man. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, bro. And does anybody have any question with regards to our education today? I think we have no more questions, so we will gladly end the call for now, and looking forward to having all of you on board again next week, same time. Enjoy your weekends. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Awesome.
Yeah.